A new distribution event has just been announced for Pokemon Home, and this time you'll be able to get your hands on Shiny Keldeo and Shiny Meltan. This is the latest in a series of gifts available via Pokemon Home, and continues on from the Scarlet and Violet Shiny Meloetta gift, the Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl Shiny Manaphy gift, and the Pokemon Legends Arceus Shiny Enamorus gift, which required you to complete regional dexes in Pokemon Home for each respective game. A reminder that none of these events have an end date, and you can redeem them at your own pace. Think of it as being an indefinite event similar to the original color Magina you can get for filling the National Home Pokedex for the first time. Let's start this time around with Shiny Keldeo, which has never ever been previously obtainable legally from a Pokemon game under any circumstance. To get it, you need to collect all 400 Pokemon in the Galar Pokedex from specifically the Sword and Shield games, and have to had transferred them into Pokemon Home at some point. They don't need to be all living in Pokemon Home at the same time like you see here, they only need to be transferred at least once. You also need to do the same for the 210 Pokemon in the Isle of Armor Pokedex, as well as the 210 Pokemon in the Crown Tundra Pokedex. The Pokemon don't have to be your own OT, meaning traded Pokemon will register in Home all the same. Again, the Pokemon must originate from Sword and Shield and have the Galar origin mark on them to count towards Dex completion. Transferring a Pikachu, for example, from a different game that's not Sword or Shield will not complete its Home Dex entry. It must come from Sword and Shield itself. And no, transferring from Pokemon Go does not count. Also note that some Pokemon appear in more than one Dex, in which case you only need to catch and transfer one of those Pokemon. E.g. catching a Wooloo in Galar, for example, and transferring it into Home will also complete its Crown Tundra Home Dex entry. In terms of legendaries, to complete the Galar Dex, you'll need to transfer into Pokemon Home at any point a Zacian, Zamazenta, and Eternatus from Sword and Shield. To complete the Isle of Armor Pokedex, you'll need to have transferred both a Kubfu and Urshifu into Home. Noting you can transfer the one Kubfu into Home, then evolve it back in the Isle of Armor, and then transfer it as an Urshifu back into Home to register both Dex entries. To complete the Crown Tundra Pokedex, you'll only need to transfer legendary Pokemon that don't appear in a Dynamax Adventure or Raid Den. These Pokemon are the 5 Regis, Regigigas is not needed, as well as the 3 Galarian Birds, the Swords of Justice Trio, Glacier, Spectria, and Calyrex. Noting that with Regieleki and Regidrago, you only get to choose one in a single playthrough, which is the same for Glacier and Spectria. So you'll either need to complete a whole other playthrough to be able to catch the other Mon, or trade with someone to complete the Dex entry. In terms of mythicals, while Zarude appears in the Isle of Armor Pokedex in-game, it doesn't appear in the Isle of Armor Pokedex in Home, and is therefore not required. The regular Keldeo you can obtain in the game naturally is also not required. Once your Dexes are complete, you'll get a little crown on the Dex on the mobile version, indicating that you have completed that Dex. Complete all 3 Dexes and view them in the mobile version of Home, and Grand Oak will appear and congratulate you in Home on mobile, and then send you a mystery gift to redeem. Go to your mystery gifts on mobile to obtain the Shiny Keldeo, noting as with previous Dex completion rewards, these gift Pokemon won't have your name as the original trainer, but rather Home. Fantastic. Now, for the Completionists, Keldeo has 2 boxable forms, due to being able to transform when it knows the move Secret Sword. So, if you want both forms as a shiny, you're gonna have to have a whole other Nintendo and Pokemon Home account, as well as another phone to redeem it on. To do it, go to your main Home account on your Switch and swap user to your second account. You'll then be able to transfer your Mons from your main Home account to a Sword and Shield save file on your second account. Once the Pokemon are saved, exit to the home screen and switch to your second Pokemon Home account. Once you've logged into your second account, go to the save file you transfer the Pokemon into from your main Home account, and then box by box, save them into your one free Pokemon Home box. This does take a little time saving back and forth, but hey, it's free, I guess. One annoying thing to mention is that saving into the free Pokemon Home account changes the order of the Pokemon in the box into the National Dex order. So if you want to put your Mons back into the Sword and Shield Dex order you might have had them in, you'll have to manually do that yourself. Once done, put all the Pokemon you care about back into your main Home account, and then redeem your second Shiny Keldeo on a spare phone using your second Pokemon Home account. Now you can transfer your Shiny Keldeo into a game it's compatible with should you wish, or keep it in Home forever like I do so you don't run the risk of losing it in a game save file that has no cloud backups. Now, Shiny Meltan. Meltan has been available in Pokemon Go since the Let's Go days, and occasionally it's been made possible to catch it as a shiny. These Meltan here I caught in Pokemon Go years ago, and then transferred them into Let's Go and subsequently into Home. I also have this Melmetal and and shiny Melmetal from Go as well, but Meltan doesn't typically evolve into Melmetal outside of Go. So this event, giving us a shiny Meltan only, is interesting. If you've ever played Sword and Shield, you'd be familiar with Gigantamaxing. The Melmetals you can transfer into the game from Go cannot Gigantamax at all, and you can't even give them the soup to do so. We've previously had one event Melmetal given to us that can Gigantamax, but no shiny version has ever previously been made available. Now, to get shiny Meltan, it's pretty self-explanatory. You need to catch the original 150 from Let's Go. You'll need to trade with people to get the version exclusives as well as the trade evolutions. You can't put Pokemon from other Switch games into Let's Go, and you can't breed in these games either. You don't need Mew or a Go Meltan or Melmetal to complete the decks, and you don't need the Alolan forms either. Just the original 150. Once complete, go through the same process with Grand Oak and the mobile version of Pokemon Home that you did with Keldeo, and redeem your shiny Meltan. Sorry those who assumed the gift was gonna be shiny Mew. Let's hope for another event in the future. What Pokemon do you want to see given away next? Let me know in the comments below. My name's Hylianstagram, but you can call me Matt, and as always, may all your shiny hunts be quick. Take care.
On the rise.